Hello everyone, welcome to research methodology video number 5. Today we are moving forward with our next topic, research process, specifically identification of research problem. Let us start with what is a research process. What is process? A process is the act of doing something effectively through a set of procedures, through a recognized set of procedures. So research process means a series of action required to carry out research efficiently. You know the fact that most research studies are done with a specific objective. So we have to follow a well-defined procedure in order to achieve that objective. Without a well-defined process or predetermined process, the researcher may not be able to complete their research on time. So in order to conduct research in an efficient and effective way, research process is necessary. Okay, so this research process contains a series of steps. So let us discuss what are the steps involved in this research process. First one, defining research problem. Second one, reviewing literature. Thirdly, formulating hypothesis. Fourth one, designing research. Fifth one, collecting data. Sixth, analyzing data. And seven, preparing reports. I just mentioned each steps in a simple manner. This order provides a useful guidance to the researcher. Identify the research problem is the first step. That is the selection of a problem. Problem means a question or issue to be examined. In simple words, research problem means area or topic on which the researcher wants to research. It's a situation that causes the researcher to feel confused and doubtful. If you want to research, you must decide the general area of interest you would like to inquire into. So, the formulation of a general topic into specific research problem constitute the first step in research. There are two important steps involved in formulating the research problem. First is to understand the problem thoroughly. Secondly, rephrasing the same into meaningful terms. Where to find a research problem? That will be the first issue for a researcher, right? So you can collect the ideas for a research problem from the real life and the scholarly arena. Of course, you can select the research problem by observing your real life situations. That is, you can observe the complications and issues in your life, in your local workplace. While observing your workplace, you may come across with ongoing issues on a daily basis. One important point to note that it is better to choose the problem oneself. In research, the role of the guide is to dig out the candidate's area of interest and show him the way. The actual selection should be the choice of the candidate himself, okay? A person with curious and imaginative mind, and of course, if he or she is sensitive to practical problems, could easily identify the problems for the study. These are some of the sources from which you can identify the research problem. That is through reading and through academic experience, brainstorming, research, and intuition. These are some of the important sources. First one is reading. That is, research problems can be identified by reviewing recent literature, reports, or databases in your field. While reading a research report, articles, certain topics may strike to our mind. And second thing is academic experience. For example, classroom lectures, class discussions and seminar discussions. So we can get many stimulating problems to be studied. And third thing is brainstorming. Brainstorming means a deep discussion or intensified discussion within a group of interested persons. Surely it will help to develop some new ideas. And of course, the findings of existing research may suggest problems for further research. Normally, at the end of journal articles or doctoral dissertations, suggest potential research problems. Sometimes it may need an additional investigation, okay? So it's also an opportunity to develop a research problem, okay? Finally, intuition. Intuition is a form of knowledge that appears in consciousness without obvious deliberation. That is, it is the ability to understand something instinctively without the need of conscious reasoning. That is, sometimes new ideas may strike to one's mind like a flash. So, a reflective mind is a spring of knowledge. So, these are the sources of problems from which we can identify a research problem. While discussing the process of identification, we need to say three important steps. First one, selection of the discipline. Second one, demarcating or delimiting the broad area. Thirdly, identifying two or more specific topics in the selected broad area. First one is selection of the discipline. It means the discipline or subject you want to do the research. For example, economics, commerce, management, technology, psychology, etc. And of course, you can do your research in your field of specialization. For example, marketing, management or finance management, etc. That is, the crux is that you can select any subject that you have studied thoroughly, or you can select a subject you are more interested. Okay. The second step in the process of identification of problem for academic research is delimit the broad area. That is, demarcating the broad area or a particular aspect of the selected subject. For example, the selected subject is financial management. Then you can select capital budgeting, financial leverage, working capital management as a specific area of study. Similarly, in marketing, you can select consumer behavior, the product mix, the price mix, the promotion mix, the physical distribution mix, and the customer satisfaction. But the thing is that you should identify your specific area of interest. The interest in a particular area maybe develops out of educational background, maybe out of reading a good book, or inspiration received from a professor. Okay. Thirdly, identifying two or more specific topics in the selected broad area. This is the final step in the identification of problem. It requires a thorough understanding of the branch of the subject as a whole and awareness of the work already done on it. And of course, here comes the importance of review of literature. Review of literature includes the research thesis and survey of research published by the research councils like Indian Council of Social Science Research. In this step, only intensive reading and reflective thinking, and also the discussions with the gate. These are the ways to help a student in identifying a specific topic or issues for research. So these are the three major steps in the process of identification of a research problem. Next important topic that we need to concentrate is criteria for selection. That is, while selecting the appropriate researchable problem out of the identified problem requires evaluation of alternatives against certain criteria. So these criteria we can classify it into internal criteria and external criteria. Okay. Internal criteria consist of first one, researcher's interest, second, researcher's competence, and thirdly, researcher's on resource, that is finance and time. You know, that is, the interest is very essential to continue the research. Otherwise, a small difficulty may become an excuse for discontinuing the study. And secondly, researcher's competence. That is, a mere interest in a problem is not sufficient to conduct the research. The researcher must be competent to plan and carry out the study of the problem. He must have the ability to grasp and deal with it. The researcher must have adequate knowledge of the subject matter, relevant methodology and statistical procedures, etc. And finally, researchers on resources. That is the cost involved in conducting the research. So if it is beyond his means, he will not be able to complete the work. The researcher gets some external financial support from the government, it's okay. So next important resource is time. You know that research is very time consuming process. That is, you should check how much time you can spare for your research work. Is it enough to meet the time requirements of the problem? So you should check your time availability and the time requirement of a problem. These are the internal criteria. Second criteria of selection is external criteria or factors. It includes researchability of the problem. Secondly, importance and urgency. And thirdly, novelty of the problem. And lastly, usefulness and social relevance. Researchability means the problem should be researchable. That is, some questions may not be researchable because procedures or techniques are inadequate. Second aspect is importance and urgency. That is, while selecting problem, their relative importance and significance should be considered. And third one, novelty of the problem. It means the originality. If the problem is already studied thoroughly by others, there is no need to wasting one's time and energy on the problem again. Lastly, usefulness and social relevance. So, while selecting the problem, care should be taken that it must be socially relevant. That is, the problem should make a significant contribution to the concerned body of knowledge. Usefulness of research indicates that that is, after conducting the research, you may be able to provide a solution to some significant practical problem. So, these are the important external factors. Next important topic is formulation of the selected problem. That is, you should clearly define the selected problem. Only then you can develop insight into the chosen problem. That is, formulation means translating and transforming the selected research problem or topic into a scientifically researchable question. So the formulation process includes developing title, building a conceptual model, defining the objectives of the study, setting an investigative question, operational definition of the concepts, then lastly delimiting the scope of the study. Of course, I will explain all these steps in the coming video. So let us conclude what we have learned today. That is, firstly, we have seen the research process, the steps, that is defining research problem, reviewing literature, formulating hypothesis, designing research, collecting data, analyzing data, and preparing reports. Okay. In this video, I explained only the first step, that is defining research problem. We have seen the mode of selection and sources of problems and process of identification and criteria of selection. That's all for this video. Thank you.